Welcome to Ones Astrology. My name is Mariana, and I'm here to provide you with a unique blend of ancient and modern perspective so you can feel a bit more agency with regards to the cosmic climate. This specific update is for the week of May 11th through the 17th, and this week really feels like the moment the nervous system finally exhales before the atmosphere changes again. So, between the Taurus New Moon, Mars conjunct Chiron in Aries, and Mercury's entrance into Gemini alongside Uranus, the middle of May really acts like a bridge between stabilization and acceleration. So Taurus helps us to reconnect with the body, sustainability, and some emotional grounding before Gemini season. And I think that's when things really start speeding up, especially with regards to communication, information, collective mental movement, and with Uranus newly in this sign as of April 25th, I think that'll be in a major way. So, welcome to Ones Astrology. As I said, my name is Mariana. I'm really grateful to have you here today. Let's go ahead and explore this week, May 11th through the 17th of 2026. Now, April's fire is finally beginning to cool this week, though it's not necessarily because the larger scale changes around us are slowing down. Instead, I think the astrology between Monday and Sunday really focuses on stabilization before, again, a little bit of acceleration starts dripping in. Taurus season is all about grounding, and it's helping us to do that in our nervous systems after a lot of Aries momentum this past month. So, the second half of the week is getting ready to prepare us for the first major changes that Uranus and Gemini and all of that Gemini energy wants to make with its upcoming season, especially given that it's the first of this entirely new Uranus cycle. Because we did have that preview last year, but that was after Gemini season. So I think the activation is to be expected. Before I continue on, I do want to just let you know that I have a app now, and it is for celestial orientation. It's called the Onescent Dial, and I'd like to just show it to you really quick. So here is what it looks like. There is a new app available, so you're able to do that, and it will just walk you through the steps. And sometimes I have to do this like twice, or maybe I do have to go through the browser. Anyway, if you want to check it out, it's there. It's got the ticker, so it'll let you know what's going on and when. You've got the orientation for the breakdown of the energy. And of course, you can set all of this to any time that you want to. So that's my new app. It's going to be responsive on your phone as well as your desktop and any screen size you have. So I hope you check it out. I will put the specific link in this description. Otherwise, it's dial.onescence.com. Back to the forecast. So even though this week is beginning relatively steady compared to the intensity of the early month, we are on Wednesday, the 13th, going to see Mercury and Taurus forming a sextile with Jupiter in Cancer. So, this is going to be helping conversations to become a bit more emotionally intelligent, practical, stabilizing. Mercury in Taurus really prefers grounded thinking, rooted in tangible reality, while Jupiter in Cancer is expanding our awareness surrounding emotional security, things like home, family, long-term well-being. So this is really helpful cosmic energy, especially with regards to organizing our plans, slowing down any racing thoughts that are lingering after Aries season. Um, let's see, making some decisions, and we'll be able to do all of that from a calmer and more sustainable place rather than maybe that impulsivity that we have been feeling up until now. So we can look forward to that coming through tomorrow. And then on Thursday, the 14th, that grounded clarity is going to deepen even further. We'll see the sun conjuncting Mercury. This is happening in Taurus. And sun Mercury conjunctions often illuminate the information or sharpen our mental focus with regards to Taurus themes. So simplification, embodiment, um, stability, structure, those sustainability features, right? Now, many people might be feeling more aware of what genuinely supports their peace, what is providing them with the consistency long term, and where their fulfillment can come from. And this is kind of at odds with maybe what has been coming up for us lately. And that's a juxtaposition with what merely creates temporary stimulation or a sense of urgency, right? Taurus really reminds us not every problem requires immediate acceleration. And some forms of growth happen slowly because it is more intentional. Now, the emotional centerpiece of the week is arriving Saturday, May 16th. This is a double whammy. We have Mars conjuncting Chiron in Aries, and this is just hours before the Taurus new moon. So Mars in Aries normally pushes towards things aggressively. But Chiron here introduces some vulnerability and emotional sensitivity. And this is all going to be surrounding identity, self-trust, courage, independence, those sorts of themes. We've got the Aries coming through here again. Now, the transit may also surface some exhaustion that feels connected to prolonged survival mode or outdated emotional patterns, specifically anything surrounding the need to constantly prove ourselves or prove our strength or capability. And with Chiron, it's important to remember there's the opportunity for healing here. This is a conjunction that's closing out one of the biggest Aries activation points of not only this season, but a really long time. With having Saturn and Neptune both in this sign, this Aries season came in with a whammy and it didn't stop. So it's really all adding up to this. When we're being asked to redefine strength for ourselves in maybe a more grounded and sustainable way. Now that we've had all of that energy and passion come through, what do we do with it? That's this energy. Again, that same day, we have the Taurus New Moon. And this creates one of the most stabilizing moments of the entire month. New moons symbolize beginnings, and Taurus emphasizes nourishment. Nervous system care, I think, is going to be important given everything we just went through with Aries season. Also, our physical well-being in general, as well as finances, routines, long-term sustainability themes across the board. So after maybe months of intensity, maybe even this entire past year since Pluto went into Aquarius near the end of 2024. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of change. If you're tuned into these cosmic energies, you've been feeling it for a while now. So after all of that, this lunation is really encouraging us to rebuild our stability. And to do that patiently rather than trying to force any immediate transformations, but to understand that the intentions we're setting now, they're going to benefit from that consistency, the simplicity, and the tangible action. So we've had the Aries fire come through, and now it's not so much about those big brilliant dreams that make you feel like you're burning up from within. Excuse me. Now it's really about dialing it back from there and asking, how does this become a part of life? How do I approach this every day? How do I show up committed and devoted to my goals and the things that I have claimed to want? And so, yes, we're not trying to force immediate gratification here. We are looking for things that we can patiently build towards. Um, and yeah, letting go of that urgency is a part of it. Recognizing that maybe the energy of urgency isn't providing you the sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. And without being able to get into that energy during the process, it's keeping you away from that energy even during those points of achievement. That's something I've seen a lot of is if we're not practicing satisfaction, then we're out of practice even when we have amazing opportunities for satisfaction. So this is helping us to kind of dial it back. How not only do we include purpose in the journey, but how do we practice fulfillment along the way so that when we do have those achievements and those checkpoints, they're all the more satisfying for the whole process, not diminished by it. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Okay, almost immediately after the new moon on Saturday, the atmosphere is going to be shifting again. On Sunday, May 17th, we see Mercury entering Gemini, and of course, it's going to immediately conjunct with Uranus, who has just moved into that sign as well. This is initiating the first major activation of Uranus in this sign since it has entered. So I anticipate that the mental pace is going to be accelerating. I think this is going to be noticeable, and we'll see conversations moving faster, ideas moving forward, maybe even unexpectedly. Many people could feel both energetically energized, intellectually stimulated, but also probably a bit overstimulated. So watch out for that. Um, this transit is beginning a cycle of activation, and it's a much larger collective story. This Uranus transit is going to be stretching into the future for 7, 8 years, whereas having it newly stationed in Gemini and initiating Gemini season, we're going to see a lot of activations from all of the personal planets. So it's kind of twofold. Be looking for that in the coming weeks to see that activation of Uranus as it is officially entered this sign, as well as the broader arc. And when things like this happen, I tend to kind of think of it as a preview. We got our first when Uranus dipped into Gemini at the end, like the last half of last year. And this is true forward momentum. So I'm going to be paying attention. I invite you to as well. Now, as far as the collective story, things to be looking for are changing communication systems, evolving technologies, shifting social networks. We've already started to see these things in the age of Aquarius, but I really think that Uranus's innovative and disruptive energy could amplify that a bit more. Um, yeah, just rapidly transforming ways of exchanging information. So, we're going to see some additional support also arriving on Sunday, the 17th, when Venus in Gemini sextiles Chiron in Aries. This is going to help to soften the relational tensions. So, through honesty and emotional understanding, even though the collective atmosphere is still speeding up mentally, this is an aspect that reminds us authentic communication, it matters more than performance or even constant stimulation, right? So there's something that the depth provides that quantity or even intensity cannot. I really think so. Overall, looking at this arc, the week is behaving like another threshold. I love thresholds. I love portals. I look at everything as an opportunity to move between energetic states. And this is another one of those opportunities, albeit in different ways, in different layers. So Taurus season is helping us to ground and stabilize whatever it was that April ignited for us. And then we've got Sunday's Gemini activation starting something new off. So really take this week to use that grounding energy before this fresh, innovative charge comes in on Sunday. I am looking forward to this next chapter opening finally. We've been preparing for this and it's all systems go. So I think the key is, yes, remaining rooted, both physically, doing those nervous system resets, giving yourself space and peace and time. I've been really charged lately, so trying to remember to bring it down, give my body what I need, sleep, eat, those kinds of things of, keeping it simple has come back into focus. Also emotionally, we're going to need to be navigating at an accelerated pace and to do so with clarity instead of overwhelm. I think that emotional awareness will be important because if we see things coming up, then we can allow them to clear. And otherwise, they're just going to become even more noise and more weight for us to carry around with the rest of the data and innovation and disruption that we'll be servicing. So that is what I have for you for this week. Thank you so much for showing up. This is kind of a new format. We used to be over on a different platform, but we're making the change to better align with the values of Onessence. So thank you for joining me here at Oness Astrology. If you're curious about all of our offerings, you will see more available on this platform as well as on the website. So go ahead and visit us over there. Again, I will have that and the dial available in the description box below. So thank you so much for being here. Take care and blessed be.